You know what's funny? People think starting over is failure. They see an empty pocket, an empty room, an empty phone, and they panic. But they never realize an empty canvas is where masterpieces begin. There's something terrifying about losing everything. But there's also something dangerously powerful about it. Because when you have nothing left to lose, you stop playing safe. And that is where real transformation starts. Nobody talks about the grief of becoming a stranger to your old life. One day you wake up and the dreams you once carried feel heavy in your hands. The people who promised forever disappear quietly. The plans collapse. The confidence fades. And suddenly, you're standing in the ruins of who you used to be. That silence hurts. Not the loud kind of pain, the quiet kind. The kind where you stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m. wondering how everything slipped away so fast. You replay conversations, mistakes, missed chances. You torture yourself with what if? What if I tried harder? What if I stayed? What if I was enough? But listen carefully. Sometimes life destroys your old foundation because it knows your future cannot be built on weak ground. And that destruction, it isn't punishment. It's preparation. There's a strange freedom in having nothing. No reputation to protect. No fake image to maintain. No expectations chained around your neck. When you start from zero, you finally meet the real you. Not the version created to impress people. Not the mask built for survival. The real you. And maybe that's why most people fear starting over. Because rebuilding requires honesty. Brutal honesty. You have to admit what broke you. You have to face the habits destroying your future. You have to look directly into your own excuses. That's painful. But pain has a purpose. Pain introduces you to your strength. Watch how people react when you fall. Some disappear immediately. Some secretly celebrate it. Some look at you with pity in their eyes. They think your story is over. Because society worships success, but disappears during reconstruction. Nobody applauds the lonely nights. Nobody claps for discipline. Nobody notices the sacrifices. They only notice the results. But what they don't understand is every empire looks invisible while it's being built. The strongest people you admire today, most of them rebuilt themselves in silence. They cried in silence, learned in silence, suffered in silence, and eventually they won in silence too. Zero is not empty. Zero is possibility. A man with nothing can become anything. That's dangerous, because now You're no longer trapped by your old identity. You can learn new skills, build new habits, create a new mindset, become unrecognizable. People think confidence comes before action. Wrong. Confidence is built after surviving things you thought would destroy you. And once you survive, starting over, fear loses control over you. Because now you know, if I can rebuild from nothing once, I can do it again. That realization changes a person forever. This is the part nobody sees. The mornings you force yourself out of bed. The discipline when motivation disappears. The tiny improvements nobody notices. One decision at a time. One workout at a time. One failure at a time. One lonely night at a time. That's how rebirth happens. Quietly. Not in one dramatic moment, but through repeated acts of refusing to quit. And eventually, the same person who once cried over losing everything becomes the person who's grateful it happened, because comfort was killing them. Starting over saved them. You begin to notice something strange. You're no longer desperate for approval. The opinions that once controlled you become background noise. You stop chasing validation. Stop begging to be understood. Stop shrinking yourself for people who never saw your value. And for the first time, you realize peace is more powerful than attention. Now your focus changes. You're not trying to prove people wrong anymore. You're trying to prove yourself right. That you were capable all along. That your past doesn't define your future. That endings can become beginnings. So if life forced you back to zero, good. Now there's nothing distracting you from becoming who you were meant to be. This is your chance to rebuild correctly. Stronger mindset. Stronger discipline. Stronger boundaries. Stronger purpose. And yes, it will hurt. Growth always does. But one day you'll look back at this chapter and realize the moment everything fell apart was the moment everything finally started making sense. Starting from zero again is a beautiful thing, because zero means you get another chance to rebuild, another chance to evolve, another chance to become dangerous. So don't fear the collapse. Fear staying the same. Because some people die at 25 and are buried at 75. But you're being reborn. And rebirth is never comfortable. It's painful. It's lonely. It's brutal. But beautiful things are never created inside comfort zones. So stand up. Even if your hands shake. Even if nobody believes in you. Even if you have to rebuild alone, start again. And this time, build someone the world cannot break.